under the lights. We live for the speed and slow. Every corner, every spoke. Chasing dreams, dirt in the throat. Victory's a heavy cloak. Tires slide, the dirt's our stage. Helmets on to guard our rage. Lap by lap we earn our wage. In a blur we turn the page. We live for the speed and slow. Every corner, every spoke. Chasing dreams, dirt in the throat. Victory's a heavy cloak.
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome, and it is the Southern Racing Association Tulsa Shootout, the Outlaw 600s for night number 2 here with the Tulsa Shootout, and it's brought to you by the Lovejoy Speed Specialties. This is race number 2 of night number 2 here of the Tulsa Shootout as drivers loaded into the non-winged 600 micro sprint here this afternoon. They are ready to rumble. They are ready to roll here once again from the beautiful the Chili Bowl Stadium here in the beautiful Tulsa, Oklahoma. Not the actual Tulsa Shootout racetrack, but nonetheless, we are ready to go to battle and ready to duke it out here as practice has come to a close. Drivers are rolling out onto the racetrack here for the start of heat race number 1. As heat race number 1 getting loaded into the sim, each and every one of these drivers, they will be searching for the win and looking to try to punch their ticket into our A main feature event. Top 4 drivers from each heat race will move forward into the A main. Everybody outside the top 4 will go back to the drawing board and they will try to race their way in through our consolation races. As drivers ready to battle, ready to duke it out, they're rolling out there on the racetrack, starting on the pole in the number 17 machine. That is Jason Trenpole. To his outside in the number 24, that is Timothy Messammer. Starting in position number 3 in the 26, that is Austin Nicholson. To his outside in the 6th ride, it's Kane Williams. Starting in position number 5, the other 17 riders, Logan Herbert will have Dylan Jones to his outside, with Garrett Boyd and Chase Copeland bringing up the rear of the field as we are quickly back to green flag racing here with the SRA Tulsa Shootout as these micro sprints duking it out here in this one. Jason Trenpole looking to turn his tables here after a tough start in race number 1. Unfortunately, now starting to slide backwards is beating and banging. They're using every inch of the racetrack out there on the speedway. Door-to-door contact. Look out! Timothy Messamere tied up in this one. Same with Logan Herbert. Herbert's going to go back around as Jason Trenpole also getting collected here in this one. A bunch of our front runners right there running out of room, and unfortunately some heavy contact as here you go. The number 17 of Logan Herbert is going to get past. He will go a lap down as he is now back in the 8th position. He was in that race lead. He was battling door to door with Timothy Messammer, and unfortunate contact had him up and pointed it towards the sky and turned around and all sorts of bent out of shape, and unfortunately now paying the price as it looks like he will join us for our consolation races. As Garrett Boyd out in front, he leads the way up 6 spots early in this race as Dylan Jones there in second. Chase Copeland in position number 3 as the white flag has been displayed in that 4th and final transfer spot currently being held by Austin Nicholson. As down through 3 and out of 4, it is the Sim Magic number 21 of Garrett Boyd who picks up Heat race win number 1 here in this one. Dylan Jones, Chase Copeland, and Austin Nicholson will punch their tickets in advance directly on through to our A main feature event, where the bottom 4 will load up their rides and they will join us back here for our consolation races later this afternoon. As we get them stacked up, racked up, and ready to go to battle here once again, out in front and leading the way to the green flag here in heat race number 2. It's the 10 ride of Landon Cardoza, hopefully I'm saying that right. Cardoza will start in the pole position. To his outside in the 79 ride, it's Dakota Osborne. Starting in position number 3, our first race winner of the afternoon, picking up the checkered flag in the winged micro sprints earlier here this evening. The 75 rider Daniel Adam will start in position number 3. To his outside in the 4 ride, that is Gabe Griffin. Starting in position number 5 in the triple nickel machine, the 555 ride, that is David Castelli. It was outside in the 19, that is James Gray, and bringing up the rear of the field in the 7 ride, it's Chase Porter. We are supposed to have the 71 of Harry Dormer in here as well, but Dormer unfortunately not loaded into the sim here for this heat race, so he will either have to start from pit road or he will join us for the consolation races. As out in front, Landon Cardoza ready to duke it out as the 15 machine will lead us to the green flag here in heat race number 2. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we welcome each and every one of you in as we get ready to go to battle here once again this afternoon. Gonna be a lot of great racing action, just like we saw in those first 3 races of the series, as we are racing 5 races over a 3-night period, and this is race number 4 of 5. We'll be back here tomorrow night for the Chili Bowl Nationals. As out in front, it's Cardoza, quickly seeing the green flag fly, and quickly we see the 79 ride upside down going for a ride. James Gray will join him. Let's take a look back and see what happens here. Is unfortunate contact there for a couple of these drivers, and Dakota Osborne unfortunately feeling the pain right out of the get-go as the 79 getting onto the throttle. I'm not sure what happens. A little contact there from the 4 to his back bumper, gets him bent out of shape, up and into the outside fence, and James Gray going to join him. Gray going to take his car right down pit side. Dakota Osborne continues to roll out there on the speedway, but it is Cardoza who continues to lead the way. Landon Cardoza out in front with Daniel Adam in position number 2. Gabe Griffin there in 3rd, and then we see Chase Porter up and into that 4th and final transfer spot. So quickly, this beautiful blue number, I don't even know what number he's running here. The number 93, I do believe, is on the back bumper of that ride. So the 93 of Chase Porter up 3 spots quickly with the contact there on the front straightaway, and Porter now finds himself in that 4th and final transfer position. As James Garland, what's good, James? Mr. Garland coming in, showing the love. James coming in with the 20-star dono, the 20-star dono here in this one. I appreciate that, brother. Coming in, setting it off, and showing the love here this afternoon. As James also coming in with that heart reaction on the broadcast. Kerry Spears coming in with that like on the stream, as well as heat race number 2 will come to a close here, as yes, that is heat race number 2. It's Landon Cardoza picking up the 2nd heat race win with Daniel Adam, Gabe Griffin, and Chase Porter all punching their ticket into the A main feature event. Unfortunately, Castelli, Osborne, Gray, and Dormer will all go to our consolation races. As we'll get ready now for heat race number 3. Heat race number 3 about to get loaded into the sim. Is what's good, Gary? What's good, Mr. Spears? Gary says, what's going on? What's going on, Gary? How are you, brother? How you doing this afternoon? Huge shout out again to my boy James Garland. Mr. Garland coming in with the 20-star dono, setting it off here in this one. We appreciate that, brother. And a huge shout out as well to USA Racing coming in as well at the end of the last broadcast, coming in there right at the end with the subscription over on Twitch as well. So huge shout out there to USA Racing, becoming a brand new subscriber, brand new supporter here of the Peacemaker family, and joining the Peacemaker sub club over there on Twitch. As we get ready to rumble here once again, drivers ready to duke it out, and starting on the pole here in heat race number 3, it's Ethan Patterson, who will start in the top spot. To his outside, that is Jake Holt. Starting in position number 3 in the number 43, that is Taylor Wasson. To his outside in the 30, it's Joe Vendetti. And then we see Joel Phillips, Noah Grooves, Kyle Hooper, and Davin Cardwell bringing up the rear of the field, and contact early on here in this one as well. Joel Phillips nowhere to go, as I do believe that's Kyle Hooper who gets a piece of him and goes around. And we also see some issues for one of our front runners. The 23 machine trying to hold on to the race lead. Unfortunate contact right there at a corner number 2. Gets up into the outside fence, gets turned around, pointed the wrong direction there for the Castrol number 23, and he'll take that car down pit side. Joel Phillips will also now join him down on pit road. As out in front is Joe Vendetti. Vendetti leads the way here in this one, and quickly Davin Cardwell finds himself now in a transfer spot, enrolling in position number 2, trying to hunt down that 30 right for the third heat race win this afternoon. The 43 at Taylor Wasson there in position number 3, and Ethan Patterson falling backwards here a few spots, but still holding on to a transfer position as that number 3 machine sits in position number 4. On the outside of a transfer spot, looking in, Noah Grooves back there in position number 5, with Kyle Hooper there in 6. Joel Phillips and Jake Holt both down on pit road. As the white flag has been displayed one more time around, and contact, Davin Cardwell goes around. Cardwell pointed the wrong direction. He's going to slide all the way back now to position number 4. He may lose that 5th or the 4th in final transfer spot, as Joe Vendetti will pick up heat race win number 3. Taylor Wasson in 2nd, Ethan Patterson there in 3rd, and it is Noah Grooves who will take that 4th and final transfer spot away from Davin Cardwell. Cardwell trying to go for the race lead, making contact and going around on the final lap, and unfortunately now finds himself in a consolation race. As we'll get him stacked up, racked up, ready to go. Heat race number 4 loading into the sim. I do believe this is our 4th in final heat race here this afternoon, and then we'll jump right in to our consolation races. And starting on the pole in the number 16 machine, it is Calvin Crowley. To his outside in the 15 ride, that is Brandon Schatz. Schatz will start there in position number 2, and then we see the number 18 ride, that is Nate Ivy. Ivy will start in position number 3. Chris Prine. Not sure how Christopher says that. I do believe it's Christopher Prine who will start in position number 4. Starting in the 5th spot in the 11 right, that is Tucker Bragg. To his outside in the 27, that is Hunter Nico Demitz. And then we see Dylan Blackburn and Mason Hamill bringing up the rear of the field here. Hamill just came home 2nd in our last race in the 48 ride. Super fast in these rides, as well as we quickly see Hunter Nico Demitz running into issues. The 27 ride up into the outside fence. He runs into issues. Now we see Dylan Blackburn and Tucker Bragg running into issues here down and out of corner number 2. You see that 48 trying to find a big run. Unfortunately, they're going to get a little tied up right here. 18 gets into the fence. The 11 ride is well into the outside wall. The 48 ride nowhere to go as he tags that number 18 machine. Pretty heavy contact there for both drivers, as out in front leading the way, it's Calvin Crowley. Crowley continues to show these drivers how to get it done. Crowley out in front with Braden Schatz right there in position number 2. Mason Hamill up and into the 3rd spot, and Dylan Blackburn now into that 4th and final transfer spot. As Tucker Bragg there in 5th. Christopher Prime back in position number 6. Hunter Nico Demitz back in position number 7, and Nate Ivy has taken his ride down pit side. As Calvin Crowley continues to lead the way down around the racetrack, he is looking to try to pick up heat race win number 4, as Dylan Blackburn putting down some very fast laps back in that 4th position. Unfortunately, he's quite a ways away with the white flag being displayed. Not enough time to hunt down any more positions. It's out of corner number 4. The 16 of Calvin Crowley will pick up Heat race win number 4 here this afternoon. Braden Shant there in position number 2 with Mason Hamble and Dylan Blackburn in that 4th and final transfer position, meaning Bragg, Perrin, Nico Demis, and Ivy will go to our consolation races. As we'll get ready right now for our C-Main consolation race. I do believe that's what we're going to hop into. So we will run a C-Main. Top 3 are going to transfer into our B main. So we're looking for 3 drivers to work themselves forward into that B main. And from there, we'll draw 6 drivers from the B main into our A main feature event. So if these drivers want to try to keep their nights alive here at the SRA Tulsa Shootout, powered by Lovejoy Speed Specialties. Sorry, that was just on the tip of my tongue. Lovejoy Speed Specialties putting all this beautiful racing action on for us here, jumping on board, becoming one of our newest sponsors here for this racing action. Huge shout out there to Lovejoy Speed Specialties. I'm always trying to remember that. It's just sitting there in the back of my mind, and sometimes those words don't come out as quickly as you wish they would. As we get ready here for our C-Main consolation race, looking for 3 drivers to move forward through the alphabet soup as Christopher Prine, I do believe it's Prine, but I could be wrong, as Prine will start in the top spot. The beautiful number 13 machine to his outside. In that 17, that is Jason Trenpole, who will start in position number 2. Starting in position number 3 in the 19 machine, that is James Gray to his outside. In the 78 ride, that is Joel Phillips. Starting in position number 5, the 27 is Hunter Nico Demis. There in the 5th position, he'll have the 17 of Logan Herbert there to his outside. Nate Ivy and Jake Holt bringing up the rear of the field as Harry Dormer not making the call here for this C-Main consolation race. And unfortunately, his night may be coming to a close here in this one, as it is some of these drivers' last chance dance. If they want to work themselves into another race here this afternoon, they need to come top 3 as the green flag quickly out and about here for the C-Main, and it's Christopher Perrin out in front, or Prine, I do believe Christopher Prine, who's at the front of the field continuing. So trying to pull away here from Joel Phillips. Phillips quickly into that second spot. A lot of drivers kind of caught sleeping there on the start of this C-Main consolation race. As Logan Herbert now into 3rd here. He's in that 3rd and final transfer position as Jake Holt back there in position number 4 and looking for more. Nate Ivy there in 5th with Jason Trenpole back in position number 6. James Gray and Hunter Nico Demis down pit side here in this one. A tough break for both those drivers as early on have worked themselves down onto their pit stalls. Is out in front, the 13 machine of Christopher Prine continues to lead the way. Prine looking to try to pick up this C-Main win, looking to try to work his way on through that B-Main and potentially work himself directly into our 22 car starting grid here for the A-Main feature event this afternoon. As Kerry Spears says, I'm doing good, and yourself, Kerry, I'm always doing good, brother. I'm always doing good, as Christopher Prine has to be careful, getting a little squirrely there, and he's got a couple of drivers getting bent out of shape right there in front of him, as that was the 18 of Nate Ivy, who was able to just get down and off the racetrack and pull that car down pit side before our race leaders saw him down on the inside of the speedway. Luckily enough, they were able to keep themselves pointed in the right direction as the white flag is displayed. Christopher Prine out in front, looking to try to pick up this C-Main win, is down through quarter number 3 and out at quarter number 4. The 13 of Christopher Prine will pick up our C-Main consolation race win, and what a jump right there of that Mobile 1 machine as he goes right up and over our safer barriers there and able to work his way into this B-Main, as Logan Herbert and Joel Phillips will also transfer through. Unfortunately for Jake Holt and everyone outside the top 3, their nights are coming to an early end, and they will join the fans in the stands here for the rest of the evening. We'll take a quick look here and take a look at that final finishing order, as out in front, Christopher Prine, Logan Herbert, and Joel Phillips will all join us here for this B-Main consolation race. As unfortunately for Jake Holt, Jason Trenpole Nate Ivy, James Gray, Hunter Nico Demis, and Henry Gormer will all load up their rides and join the fans in the stands here this afternoon. As we'll get them stacked up, racked up, and ready to rumble here for our B main consolation race. They're going to get rolling out there onto the speedway. As here we go. Our B main, the last chance dance, the last opportunity for these drivers to work themselves into our A main feature event. As out in front, it's Kane Williams who will lead us to the green flag. So Williams out in front with the triple nickel, the Case IH machine. That is the 555 rider David Castelli, who will start there in position number 2. Starting in the 3rd spot, it is the 70 ride of Davin Cardwell. He'll have the 31 of Tucker Bragg to his outside. Then we see Dakota Osborne, Timothy Massamer, Kyle Hooper, Christopher Bryan, and Logan Herbert, Joel Phillips there bringing up the rear of the field as our B main consolation race is underway. Quickly, Kane Williams out in front, trying to pull away from everybody else as Davin Cardwell trying to hang right there with them. Timothy Massamer right there in position number 3. He's trying to work his way into the show here and potentially trying to race his way back up for another podium finish here this evening. As that 24 ride rolls in position number 3 as Kyle Hooper right there behind him as David Castelli sliding backwards here. The triple nickel ride now finds himself back in the 5th position on the racetrack, and right now he's got a couple fast cats right there behind him trying to take him out of a transfer position. As there goes that 17 of Logan Herbert. Herbert around the outside will steamroll right on around Tucker Bragg. Bragg will now slide outside of a transfer position as only our top 6 will advance into the show. Everybody else will join the fans in the stands, and right now it's Christopher Prine who's on the outside looking in. So Prine in that 13 machine currently sitting in the 7th position. Knows he needs to gain one more spot if he wants to drive and race in this A main feature event and try to cash in on a little bit of money here this afternoon in the bragging rights that come along with picking up the win. As contact there in front of him, the door is open as Logan Herbert gets into the back end of that triple nickel machine there, door to door. Now for that final transfer spot as Kane Williams continues to lead the way. More contact, Prine collected. He goes around. The triple nickel gets up into the outside fence, and both Christopher Prine, as Prine's gonna go around again. Look out, he goes back around. Logan Herbert, more contact as Dakota Osborne will draw around that number 17. Herbert now back into position number 8, and he is a good distance away from that 6th and final transfer spot. Dakota Osborne able to get in front of him as the white flag is displayed as the 70 rider Davin Cardwell has taken the race lead away from Kane Williams as Cardwell down through 3 and out of 4. Davin Cardwell will pick up our B main consolation race win. Kane Williams, Timothy Massamer, Kyle Hooper, Joel Phillips, and David Castelli will pick up that 6th and final transfer spot into our A main feature event, meaning Dakota Osborne, Logan Herbert, Christopher Prine, and Tucker Bragg will load up their rides and join the fans in the stands here this afternoon for our A main feature event. 55 laps of racing action here this afternoon for these competitors to go to battle and try to pick up a big checkered flag in our final SRA Tulsa Shootout race here in 2025. As we'll get them stacked up, racked up, and ready to roll here for the A main feature event. Each and every one of these drivers looking to try to put themselves into victory lane, as out in front and leading us to the green flag will be the 21 ride of Garrett Boyd. Boyd out in front, he'll have the number 15 of Landon Cardoza to his outside. Starting in position number 3 in the 30 machine, that is Joe Vendetti. To his outside will be the 16 machine of Calvin Crowley. Starting in position number 4 in the OnlyFans, number 22, that is Dylan Jones. To his outside will be the 75 ride of Daniel Adam. Starting in position number 7 in the 43, that is Taylor Wasson. To his outside in the 15, that is Braden Shantz. Then we see Chase Copeland in the number 4 ride of Gabe Griffin, rounding out our top 10. Mason Hamill, Chase Porter, Ethan Patterson, Austin Nicholson, Dylan Blackburn, Kane Williams, Noah Grooves, Kyle Hooper, Davin Cardwell, Timothy Massamer, David Castelli and Joel Phillips gonna bring up the rear of the field. 22 drivers getting ready to duke it out here for the Tulsa Shootout, powered by the Southern Racing Association and Lovejoy Speed Specialties here this afternoon. As we are quickly green flag racing, we will quickly see that green flag, or the caution flag, fly here as the caution flag coming out almost instantly here in this feature event. Let's take a look back and see what happens and where this caution flag is displayed. I do believe it's Kyle Hooper who may run into some issues right here. Let's take a look, as it looks like Landon Cardoza may have ran into some issues as well. We'll have to keep an eye out on our inside pole center, but take a look back here. The 29 ride up on the high side right there, a little 3 wide. Unfortunately, they run out of room. The 29 ride gets tagged, and Kyle Hooper goes around. A tough break right there for Kyle Hooper. Tough break for him, as we also see Daniel Adam run into some issues here. I do believe this is where we're going to see Landon Cardoza run into his issues as well. Watch that 15 ride down through the middle here. Little contact. He gets up and into the air. More contact down the back straightaway. See the 15 ride running into a bunch of issues. You see the 75 ride right in there as well. Mason Hamill also getting some pretty good damage into that one, as man, drivers just running out of room here down the back straightaway, and some heavy hits for a bunch of top competitors out there on the racetrack. And some of the drivers that we are going to keep an eye on here, all of a sudden deeper in the field and potentially having to rebound from a heavy mistake early in this race. As we quickly go back to green flag racing, the caution flag will instantly come right back out as the 3 machine, the OnlyFans wrap here, the number 3 of Ethan Patterson, gonna run into some issues down into corner number 1. We'll keep an eye on this 3 ride. Him and the 26 come together down and out at corner number 2, and unfortunately he goes around over to go for the 6 machine. You see Daniel Adam getting into him there again as well, but after 3 ride turned around, pointed the wrong direction, stopped on the racetrack, will put us right back under the caution flag. So we will get them stacked up, racked up, and are ready to go back to green flag racing as run Garrett Boyd looking to just try to keep himself here all afternoon. He doesn't want to make a mistake. He doesn't want to give anything up. He wants to make sure that he can hold on to this top spot and not allow a single one of these drivers that are back there behind him to find a run, to find a lane, to try to find a way up and around him here this afternoon. We'll have to keep an eye and see if this 21 right can keep him back there at bay, as right now Joe Vendetti trying to find something underneath of him, as Vendetti with the 30 machine gets a great run down low, but even if he was able to make that pass down through the back straightaway, we do see the caution flag come back out. So cautions breeding cautions early here in this feature event. More drivers getting collected, more drivers running into issues, and we'll take a look and see what happens here. As there's quite a few drivers I do believe tied up in this one. I believe Timothy Messammer have been tied up in this one as well. Let's take a look here at old Timmy on the racetrack, as everyone trying to build up the speed, everyone trying to get rocking and rolling here, and contact up in front of him. The 4 right of Gabe Griffin looks like he is already turned around here. Let's take a look from Gabe Griffin's perspective, as Gabe goes for a pretty crazy ride here and unfortunately finds himself now deep in the field. I don't even see, where is Gabe Griffin? There he is. All right, let's take a look here at Gabe Griffin in this 4 ride as we go back to battle here. You see the 4 and some contact in front of him. That's Chase Copeland. They all kind of get stacked up. He ends up going around, and a bunch of drivers roll into him, and quickly that caution flag will come out as the 4 ride stopped there on the racetrack. As we go back to green flag racing here once again, we'll see how long we can go before the next caution flag. There's contact deeper in the field, and we will see the yellow flag come right back out. So cautions, continue to breed cautions early in this race. Keep an eye on the triple nickel. It's David Castelli who's going to run into some problems here. The triple nickel ride trying to get a jump here on this restart. Quite a bit of ground between himself and the 29, but the 75 ride blinking there just ever so slightly. I don't know why the 75 started blinking there, but nonetheless, he's going to get in here and he's going to virtually make contact there with that triple nickel ride. You see him just appear, then disappear again. Unfortunately, the contact already made. That 555 ride turned around. There's another car blinking there as well. That's the 15 machine. I do believe that is potentially Mason Hamill or Braden Chance there as all three drivers stopped on the racetrack, and that'll put us right back under the caution flag. So some tough sledding early on in this race, trying to get these drivers under control, trying to get things rocking and rolling here for this A main as the laps are clicking down here. We're already 5 laps into this race. We got 50 laps left to go, so still a lot of time here for drivers to figure out what they need to do, where they need to be, and how they need to try to keep themselves putting in the right direction, as 55 laps is a whole lot of time, and doing it under caution flag is not going to be a good time, as out in front, Garrett Boyd leads the way. Joe Vendetti there in position number 2, as now we see Calvin Crowley back up inside the top 3, as the 22 of Dylan Jones rolls there in position number 4. Chase Copeland there in 5th. And then we see Taylor Wasson, Chase Porter, Dylan Blackburn, David Cardwell, and Kane Williams now into that 10th position. As right now, Blackburn, Cardwell, Williams, and Messamer right there behind them, all up 8 positions on the racetrack. Kyle Hooper also up 8 positions from his starting spot here, as well as these drivers try to work themselves up and through the traffic. We do see Messamer now up another position, now up 9 spots. Same with Dylan Blackburn as he slides into position number 7 on the speedway. As Blackburn rolls there in position number 7, out in front, it's all Garrett Boyd. Boyd continuing to lead the way, has a few car lengths between himself and Joe Vendetti. As Vendetti trying to hold on to position number 2 as Calvin Crowley trying to hold on to that 3rd spot here on the racetrack as the caution flag will fly. We get a few good green flag laps right there. We click a bunch off the board, and the caution flag does come back out. Looks like Taylor Wasson and Kyle Hooper potentially running into some issues here. Let's keep an eye on this 43 machine as the 43 sends it down into the corner. We'll see if there's any contact here as he was rolling in that 6th position. Looks like he gets up, scrubs that wall. Let's get a little contact from the 48 ride, but I think that's just unfortunate break there for the 48 as you see that 43 get up into the outside fence. The car kind of just gets pulled into it. The 48 nowhere to go. Does get a little piece of them. Maybe not any damage at all for the 48 ride, but the 43 hard up into the outside fence. That car gets turned around, and now everyone's trying to avoid him here. And unfortunately for the 29 ride, or for him to go, slams into the side of that 43 machine. Everyone else now trying to figure their way through all this, and luckily enough, for the most part, the 2 drivers really getting significant contact there during that wreck. So we'll get ready to go back to battle here once again as drivers stacked up here again on the racetrack is out in front. Every one of these drivers, they're still battling. They're still looking for a way to click down these laps in a quick hurry, especially if you're Garrett Boyd. You want to be able to get a good launch and a good restart, quickly build up a lead between yourself and position number 2. So if you start to run in to some lap traffic, you can kind of be a little bit more patient, knowing that that driver's not right there on your back bumper and ready to make some moves to try to take the top spot away from you. And unfortunately, with these caution flags, it's getting tougher and tougher and tougher to do, especially not getting any good green flag laps in to try to stretch out a lead or to try to battle here during the green flag. As we take a look back, we do see Braden Chance and Taylor Wasson. Unfortunately, they're going to get tied together here as the 15 ride down low. He's trying to find a way around the triple nickel ride here of Castelli, and it's a little bit tight there, trying to stay underneath of him, sends it into the corner, still doing a good job keeping that car out of trouble, and then into corner number 3 and 4 here, just drives it in there too deep, ends up getting a big piece there of that triple nickel right. Unfortunately, he loses the front end and goes around right here, so just send it in there too deep here for that 15 machine, and Braden Chance just gets in there, gets a piece of that left rear tire. And look at the triple nickel trying to keep himself pointing the right direction. Unfortunately, the 15 ride does go all the way around, and the 555 ride able to keep that car rolling and gets it pointed back in the right direction. Unfortunately, still in the wrong direction is that 43 ride. Is another big hit right there for Taylor Wasson, as Wasson trying to avoid the contact. Ends up trying to go to the high side, gets up there a little too quick, and drives that car head-on into that outside fence. Pretty heavy damage there for Wasson. We'll see if that car can get repaired and see him back out there on the racetrack. I do believe he is back out there, so the crew going to work and that car fixed up and right back out there onto the speedways. Garrett Boyd getting ready for another restart here with the SRA Tulsa Shootout here in this one, powered by Lovejoy Speed Specialties. As Garrett Boyd out in front, another great restart. He's just hoping to see this green flag stay out for a longer period of time. Unfortunately, he's only going to get about a lap in, and that caution flag will come right back out as this time Noah Grooves in the 21. He will run into some issues here as we watch him in this beautiful 777s machine, the 21 ride. On the outside groove, trying to find some speed. Unfortunately, runs out of room. Him and Gabe Griffin come together. The 29 ride nowhere to go as the 21 backs it up into the Lucas Oil barriers there on the pit entry and pit exit here at the Chili Bowl Stadium, as we'll get them all ready to rumble here again in this one. So cautions breeding cautions here once again with the Tulsa Shootout, and drivers will have to try to figure out what they need to do, where they need to try to find this speed, where they can be a little bit more patient, a little bit more at ease out there on the speedway as the lights are back up, the official iRacing pace truck, and we'll get ready to try it all over again. So another attempt here. And a good green flag run as we're only 16 laps into this race. Already caution flag number 7 is down out at corner number 4. The green flag will come back out so quickly. The 21 ride at the front of the field looking to try to stretch that lead out once again. As Garrett Boyd leads the way, Joe Vendetti hanging on to position number 2. Dylan Jones there in third with Calvin Crowley and Chase Copeland. Our top 5 here on the speedway is Dylan Blackburn, Davin Cardwell, Timothy Massamer, all trying to work themselves up and through the field here as they're all up 10 positions from where they started. And they're continuing to try to work themselves through the traffic as we do see one driver running into issues. No caution flag as of yet. There it is. Caution flag back out onto the racetrack. So caution flag number 8 this time looks like Dylan Blackburn gonna run into some issues. A tough break here for the 48 ride. Not any luck for him this afternoon as the Public Enemy setup shop. Number 48 ride down low. Just looks like he keeps on washing up the racetrack. Unfortunately, got in there a little too deep, and as he washes up the track, he's gonna end up finding the 16 machine right here. They're gonna make some contact. He bounces off the 16, and that car will go for a loop-de-loop. Unfortunately, Chase Copeland nowhere to go. Get some pretty heavy damage there into the 48 ride. Davin Cardwell getting some contact into it as well. You see the whole right side of the 70 ride jump up into the air as everyone trying to scatter and avoid contact. And unfortunately for Joel Phillips, it's a big piece head on into that number 48 ride. Heavy damage there for a bunch of drivers. Let's see if we can jump on board with Joel Phillips and see what he can see from the cockpit of the 78 ride. He's just trying to roll his way up towards the top 10 and sees his car going around trying to guess where to go. Unfortunately, just for the middle there on corner exit and drives head on into that 48 right. Hopefully not too much damage there for Mr. Phillips. As we are quickly back to green flag racing out in front, Garrett Boyd sees the green flag, but quickly the caution flag will come right back out here in this one. Looks like Kane Williams, Taylor Watson potentially getting tied up here in this one. Let's take a look here at Kane Williams here in the 6 machine as Kane trying to get this car rolling, trying to work his way up towards the top 10. Contact right there with the 43. He goes around, and I'm not sure where Taylor Watson, I think Taylor Watson there, the 43 ride, just goes around after that contact as the 6 ride gets a piece of them, and both drivers going to run into issues here as 6 down low right here is going to make that contact. Both drivers go around. Pretty good lick right there on the front end of that 43 machine, but luckily enough, car's still rolling, still pointed in the right direction here. The caution flag will get them lined back up and ready to go back to battle here in this one. As Garrett Boyd, Joe Vendetti, and Dylan Jones, our top 3 here on the speedway. Basically anyone inside our top 3, top 4, they haven't really been challenged all too much here in this race, so they're just probably playing a little cat and mouse game here, just trying to stay consistent, just waiting for their moment to strike, and just making sure that they don't run into issues here throughout this race, as they don't want to be deeper in the field, trying to navigate through all that carnage and chaos back there and just try to keep themselves in striking distance and try to survive this feature event. as the caution flag will come back out. The pace car rolling back out here. We'll take a look back as this time the 70 ride of Davin Cardwell. Cardwell was racing, trying to work his way up and inside the top 5 here. One of our hard chargers on the afternoon. Down low, you see the 93 trying to find a run underneath the 70 ride, and he's going to tag him. He's going to spin him right there. He's going to tag him and bang him down the back straightaway as Cardwell rolling the outside groove here, looking for a big run on corner exit. The 93 gets a piece of that berm off of corner exit, jumps up the racetrack, makes contact there with that left rear of the 70 ride, and that's where he goes around a quick loop-de-loop right there for Cardwell, and definitely not the way he wanted things to go as he was finally just starting to work himself through some of that traffic up towards the front of the field. Now everyone else trying to get out of there as well, as you do see that triple nickel ride. He's going to go around for a quick spin. His driver's trying to get onto the binders, trying to avoid each other. You'll see the 78 quickly going around there as well. Doesn't look like too much damage for too many of those drivers as green flag back out onto the air. So Garrett Boyd out in front, Dylan Jones there in second. He was able to take that second spot away from Joe Vendetti. So Vendetti back into that third position. We'll have to wait and see if that 30 ride can find a run back around the 22 ride as the caution flag will be displayed here again. The caution flag going to come back in here in this one. We'll keep an eye on the 24 ride of Mason Hamill, as Hamill potentially going to get tied up here in this one. Joel Phillips, Kane Williams, and a couple other drivers also getting collected as tight racing right there. Contact 15 gets into the back end of the 24, sends them down the speedway, and that's where we see, I believe that is Dylan Blackburn, nowhere to go right there, and heavy contact into the driver's side roll bars there of that 24 machine, and pretty good damage there for him, as we do see some more drivers sending their car into the corner here. We'll see if they get any contact or anything from this, as well as I do believe we saw Kane Williams also going around right there. We also saw the number 78 running into issues there as well, as once again they see that accident in front of them, they react. Unfortunately, they make some contact. The 93 in there as well, head on into the 6 machine. Joel Phillips also turned around there, and everyone will get pointed back in the right direction, and we'll go back to green flag racing as we're 3 wide here at the front of the field. 3 wide for the race lead here in the Tulsa Shootout. Is out in front. It has been a great race so far, and Garrett Boyd hasn't really had too many challengers here for this 21, but they're on that last restart. The 30 machine gets a great run, a great drive, takes a peek down low, looking to try to beat that 21. Unfortunately, though, could not make that move, and he's going to stay back in that second position, but he's about to get a brand new look at it, as he's going to get another opportunity right here as we go back under the caution flag. Austin Nicholson going to run into issues. The 26 ride here getting tied up with a issue. Let's keep an eye on this 26 as he rolls down into corner number 4, looking for a good run. Unfortunately, gets into the outside fence. Heavy damage, and up into the pit entry, pit exit right there. Car goes up into the air, and unfortunately slow there on the racetrack, and that's where we see that caution flag fly. So another caution flag here in this one, so we'll get ready to do it all over again. Another restart on the horizon here for Garrett Boyd as we get about 30 more laps left in this feature event. 25 laps in, 30 laps left to go here as we'll jump into a quick Peacemaker Gaming Crank It Up. So ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, crank up that volume and cheer on your favorite drivers. We crank it up here on Peacemaker Gaming. caution flag coming back out. This time, Mason Hamill going to run into issues. We'll take a look at it here as we'll keep our Peacemaker Gaming crank it up. We'll keep an eye on that. Flag out there on the racetrack as our crank it up will continue here. The crank it up caution flag, and we'll get ready for another green flag restart as out in front, Garrett Boyd continuing to lead the way here. Boyd out in front, showing these drivers how to get it done as we ride on board with Daniel Adams. Adam looking to try to pick up back-to-back wins here on this Friday night show. Drivers ready to go back. Green flag racing. We'll continue on with our Peacemaker Gaming. Crank it up. Caution flag back out there on the racetrack here as we ride on top of Dylan Blackburn's ride here, and another caution flag out there on the racetrack. This is our 14th caution flag here in this main feature event. We'll take a look back and see what happens here, as that's going to draw the end of our Peacemaker Gaming Crank It Up. So we will end the Crank It Up there on that note. Great thank you to all these drivers. A beautiful Crank It Up session right there, giving us the sights and the sounds of these micro sprints here in the SRA Tulsa Shootout, presented by Lovejoy Speed Specialties. So we'll take a look back here, get another angle at this one, and see how this caution flag is displayed. Take a look back as Kyle Hooper unfortunately running into issues here. Let's take a look at Hooper and how this all unfolded for the number 29 ride as he rolls the outside lane here. He's working above the 75 ride. He just finds the outside fence, nowhere to go for the 48, but Hooper unfortunately finds the outside fence, gets up into the outside wall, gets turned around, stopped on the racetrack, and that brings out our caution flag. As we quickly go back to green flag racing, it's Garrett Boyd out in front. Boyd leading the way here in this one as Garrett Boyd showing these drivers how to get it done here in this one. He has been the reflection of perfection. He's been out in front for every one of these restarts. He's led every lap so far here in this feature event, and he's looking to be that reflection of perfection, and our 15th caution flag will be displayed and help him at least another lap around the speedway, and that much closer to potentially picking up the checkered flag here in our final Tulsa Shootout race here in this series. As the number 15 ride here of Braden Shantz, unfortunately looks like he's going to run into some issues as it's a big run, gets into the back end of Davin Cardwell. Car starts to go around, nowhere to go for Gabe Griffin, nowhere to go for the 21 ride as they pile in there. Unfortunate contact for all three of those drivers as 15 tries to get that car pointed back in the right direction. Finally gets it pointed back the right way and gets rolling once again. And we'll get ready to start rolling here again as well. As Joel Phillips did get a little contact into that one as well. He was that fourth driver that got in there, got some contact in it as well. So a tough break there for Joel Phillips as we get him stacked up, racked up, and back to green flag racing here with the SRA Tulsa Shootout. As Garrett Boyd continuing to lead the way. Boyd out in front. There's more contact deeper in the field. Once again, no caution flag as of yet as Noah Grooves unfortunately going around in that 21 ride. He's going to get it pointed back in the right direction and keep on rolling. No caution flag, and that's what we like to see. As out in front, Garrett Boyd looking to try to pick up the checkered flag here this evening. Only 15 more laps left to go. 14 this time by the start-finish line. So 14 more laps left to go, this time out at quarter number 4. And 14 laps here. We will see who our victor will be this afternoon. Who will find victory lane? Can Garrett Boyd hold on to it and keep all these drivers back there at bay, or can Daniel Adam find his way around him and up and into that top spot? Daniel Adam unfortunately ran into issues early in this race, went going around, getting tied up in an early race caution flag, and now working his way back up through the front and through the carnage, through the chaos, and through some very talented drivers here inside our top 5, top 10. Is right there, back into the second position. We'll see if he can try to find his way into victory lane for the second time here this evening. As we'll take a look back, Braden Chance unfortunately running into some more issues here in this 15 machine. As we can look at him here, he's rolling to the outside groove, and fortunately looks like he's going to get up into the outside fence ever so slightly, but the 78 ride right there. Joel Phillips, look at Phillips. I do believe he's just trying to avoid hitting the 29 ride. Unfortunately, that pushes him up the racetrack, and he slides right up in front of that 15 machine. Heavy contact into the outside wall. I do believe that's going to put the 15 right up and onto his lid right there. Turtled in quarter number 2, and unfortunately he'll have to pull that car back down pit side as we quickly go back to green flag racing. So the green flag back out into the air is the 21 rider Garrett Boyd, looking to try to hold all these drivers back there at bay, but the caution flag will come right back out here in this one. Caution flag number 17 out there on the racetrack, and this caution flag is brought to you by Lovejoy Speed Specialties. If you guys are looking for speed, go to the Specialties. Lovejoy Speed Specialties here this afternoon if you're looking for that extra little bit of speed out there on the racetrack. As Garrett Boyd leads the way with the caution flag, bringing everyone right back to his rear bumper, as it looks like Joe Vendetti and Dylan Jones going to run into some issues here on this restart. Let's take a look back and see what happens. Keep an eye on that 30 ride. He's going to get a good run, gets a good launch. Unfortunate contact there as things stack up. He comes back down the racetrack hard into the 22. Dylan Jones nowhere to go, and Joe Vendetti going to go upside down there as well. He'll take that car down pit side as we get him ready to rock and roll here once again. Back to green flag racing, see if we can carry a little extra bit of speed and a few more green flag laps here this afternoon. Is my boy Todd Goodine coming in, showing the love. What's good, Todd? What's good, mister? How you doing, brother? How you doing tonight? Hopefully you're having yourself a wonderful Friday afternoon. Is out in front, continuing to lead the way. It is that 21 machine with only 11 more laps left to go here in this one. As he heads down the back straightaway into corner number 3, nice and easy at a corner number 4. We will see 10 more laps left here in this A-main feature event. So 45 laps down, 10 laps left to go, and out in front it's been all Garrett Boyd as Boyd continues to lead the way. He is looking for that checkered flag with the 75 right of Daniel Adam. He's right there in position number 2. He was able to pick up the checkered flag in our first race of the evening. He's looking to back it up with back-to-back wins here on night number 2 of the SRA Tulsa Shootout. As that 21, Garrett Boyd continues to hold that inside lane. It's forcing Daniel Adam to move around, trying to find some different lanes to try to work his way into this top spot. He takes a peek back down low, gets a little contact right there, gets a little tight on corner exit, luckily enough able to catch it and get that car rolling once again as he tries to reel in the back bumper of our race leader. Timothy Missamer right there as well. Missamer up 16 positions on the racetrack. Started all the way back in the 19th position, is able to work himself on and through the traffic and up and into the 3rd position. And we'll see if Timmy can try to work himself back up onto the podium, maybe see if he can pick up a couple extra spots here late in this race and maybe pull that 24 up and into victory lane. As Kelvin Crowley rolls there in position number 4 down low, he's got Dylan Blackburn, as here comes Davin Cardwell, Chase Copeland, Kyle Hooper. They're trying to work their way inside the top 5 here as Gabe Griffin back in the 9th position. Noah Cruz in the 21 sits there in position number 10. David Caselli, Joel Phillips, our top 12 out there on the racetrack is out in front. It's a tight race, door to door for the race lead. Garrett Boyd trying to hold on to it, but on the outside lane, it is Daniel Adam who's finding a little extra speed as the white flag has been displayed. Daniel Adam up high, down low, it's Garrett Boyd who will pick up the win as down through 3 and out of 4, the last lap pass. It's the 75 of Daniel Adam who's able to pick up the checkered flag, and he's able to pick up back-to-back wins and sweeping night number 2 of the SRA Tulsa Shootout, powered by Lovejoy Speed Specialties. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, give it up here for the number 75 ride of Daniel Adam as he's able to back up his win from earlier this afternoon as he goes back-to-back here this evening, mirroring virtually what we saw Bo and Stenzel do last night and win both of our races in sweeping the afternoon here at the Tulsa Shootout. Give it up there for Daniel Adam as he's able to get that win. Garrett Boyd, unfortunately, giving up on those couple final last laps, and unfortunately on those closing laps, giving up the race lead and sliding back into position number 2. And our boy Timothy Missamer coming home in position number 3. Timothy able to come home in that third and final podium position for the second time here this afternoon. This time though, a little bit more work as he's able to drive up through the field into that third position. He ends up coming home in the third spot and with the hard charger here up 16 positions. Absolutely incredible drive there for that 24 ride, but no one doing it better than Daniel Adams. We'll get this 75 right up and into the broadcast booth for his post-race interview. Hey Daniel, it's Aaron up here in the Peacemaker broadcasting booth. Once again, do you get a copy?
Yeah.
Daniel, man, another great run, another great race, and you're able to go back-to-back and sweep our Friday night portion of the Tulsa Shootout here with the Southern Racing Association, man. Take us back through this one we saw there in that feature event. Obviously starting up, closer to the front of the field here, but you run into some issues early on. All of a sudden, you go to the tail of the field. You got to try to navigate a lot of cautions, a lot of carnage and chaos there for quite a while, but slowly but surely you pick them off, and you're able to work yourself here late in this race, using the outside lane to steal this win away from Garrett Boyd.
Yeah, I'm still trying to not be shaking because holy cow, that was a good finish. But I really had the bottom working. That's where I made 90% of my passes, but I kept trying the top in 3 and 4 because I noticed how slow he was on the bottom, and I kept getting runs, and that lap car got right in the way. I'm like, I didn't think I was gonna have a shot with where that lap car was because it was like 5 to go, and we didn't pass until there was like 3 laps. So I just started holding it wide open on the top, and yeah, you guys saw the rest. That was insane.
Absolutely amazing finish, absolutely amazing end to the Friday night portion here of the Tulsa Shootout, man, as you're able to put on a heck of a show and a heck of a drive, just navigating yourself back up through that traffic and then having that incredible finish there. I'm sure Garrett probably feeling a little bit gutted right now, as I'm sure you're feeling all the excitement knowing that you were able to come up here again in victory lane, earn that extra cash that was on the line, and also sweep the Friday night series here with the Tulsa Shootout, man. How you feeling right now, man? What are the nerves like after that crazy run?
I honestly didn't think it was gonna happen. I kept getting a run, and I just wouldn't be able to clear him. And props to him for not mirror driving me and sliding up, and he left me a lane every time, and he raced me really clean. I think I got into him once on the bottom, just kept trying to make the move on the bottom because my car was so good down there, but it wasn't working, so I just had to put it on the top, and that's probably the best race I've ever had in iRacing. And I feel bad for Garrett. I think he led the whole race other than the last 2 laps. So I know that feeling. I've been there. That sucks, but that was amazing. And I can't thank Carden. He got this track right for this feature. I know people are going to be bitching about last feature, but this feature was amazing.
Absolutely, definitely a great track out there. A couple of lanes to roll. You saw as you worked the outside lane. You talked earlier about how you were hooked up and practicing and rolling the inside groove to perfection. But late in this race, were you pretty surprised there? Obviously, having something up there on the outside lane. Did you think you weren't going to find anything up there and you were just going to have to try to run where that 21 wasn't and just maybe settle in for a second place finish?
Yeah, that thought definitely crossed my mind with all the cautions. But luckily we got that long run at the end and I could build some momentum. I didn't really know if my car was going to be good. Heck, I didn't even make a lap of practice before the heat race. I had no idea what I was going to get. And I apologize to who I got into in the heat race. I feel bad. I knocked him out and he didn't make the show. But yeah, I had no idea what that feature set it was going to do. There was no warm up and I threw it together in like 5 minutes before the race. So um, I'm glad it worked. I knew it was going to be good on the bottom, but I'm glad it worked on the top too.
Absolutely. You'll definitely have to save that setup as man, oh man, it was working perfect here this afternoon. Daniel, who would you like to thank, man, for not only a great run here in this second race, picking up the win, but for your entire show so far, man? You've had some, lows last night, but here tonight on the top of the mountain, picking up both wins in our feature events and being able to sweep the Friday night.
Yeah, I gotta thank all my sponsors again. Mobilization Funding, Speed Ranch, Amsoil, RLM Enterprises, SRI, Swift Springs, American Racing Rims, Allen Automotive, Racing for Heroes, the Restore Warehouse, Justin L. Langdon Electrical, my dad, AFM Racing, Wesley Page Shocks, Tricks Utility Services, Spiffies, Integris Risk Solutions, Rathbones Towing, I Buy Cars. Thank you to you for putting on an amazing broadcast, and thank you to Carden for putting this amazing show on.
Absolutely, brother. Well, we got one more race left to go here in our, Chili Bowl Tulsa Shootout series here over these 3 nights, and one more opportunity for you to pick up another checkered flag. So hopefully we'll see you back out there on the racetrack tomorrow night in the Dirt Midgets, and hopefully we'll see you right back up here battling your way to the front of the field and maybe another absolutely epic finish like we saw here in race number 2. Daniel, congratulations on the great runs here tonight, and as I said, hopefully we see you right back up here tomorrow night.
Thank you, sir.
Absolutely enjoy the rest of your evening, and don't party too hard down there in Victory Lane. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, give it up there for Daniel Adams. Adams comes home in position number 1, picking up back-to-back checkered flags here this evening as we'll get ready to pull in our second place finisher, Garrett Boyd. Hey, Garrett, it's Aaron up here in the Peacemaker Broadcasting booth. Take a copy.
Yes, sir.
Garrett, man, a very solid run, a very solid performance here for you in race number 2 this afternoon. Obviously, leading virtually every lap except for the last lap, maybe the last 2 laps there, as you're able to just time those restarts perfectly. You're able to hold these guys off. A couple decent little green flag runs throughout this race, but you were able to just keep that gap and keep these guys back there behind you, and it looked like you were going to be able to just kind of cruise control here with the caution flags and everything else to what could have been a fairly decent checkered flag for you, win this afternoon until that final run. And all of a sudden, that 75 of Daniel Adam comes out of nowhere, rolling the inside lane, able to take a couple peaks down low, realizes that you're not going to give up that bottom groove. He goes up to the high side and miraculously finds something up there. And all of a sudden, he just rolls right around the outside of you and steals this win away, man. What's going through your mind right now? How you feeling after what was, potentially, a gift or a win here for you tonight?
I mean, it's just racing. I don't try to race in the mirror, and if I wanted to, I could have went up and blocked him and been that guy, but I don't like racing that way. It's not fun racing that way, and he was faster than me, so he got around me, and that's just how it goes sometimes.
Absolutely, that's definitely how it goes. And he said, he was thanking you as well for not doing that. He was pretty happy with, not getting mirror driven, not having you throw, a crazy slide job or something, trying to block him into the corner there late in this race, and just good, hard racing there at the front of the field. Unfortunately, you have to settle in for a second place run here in our Tulsa Shootout Friday night finale here as you're able to lead virtually every lap except for the one that mattered the most here, the last one tonight, man. You know, gotta feel pretty gutted, but gotta be pretty happy knowing that you're able to stay out of all the carnage and chaos that was back there behind you with all the yellow flags.
Yeah, it's give us a little bit of momentum going in tomorrow night, and hopefully we won't have 47 caution flags.
Absolutely. Hopefully we won't have that many. Hopefully we won't even have 7 caution flags tomorrow night. We'll just see nothing but good, hard, clean racing there on the speedway, and hopefully we'll see you right back up here in the broadcast booth. But Garrett, who would you like to thank for such a great run and strong performance here this afternoon?
First off, I want to thank Carden and the SRA guys for putting the league on, and then everybody at home that supports me doing this shenanigans on the weeknights and whatnot. It's fun to do, and then you for broadcasting it, and that's it.
Beauty. Well, Garrett, a great run, a great solid drive here in race number 2, getting you pumped up and ready for our season finale, our series finale, really, tomorrow night for the Chili Bowl and the Dirt Midgets. And hopefully we'll see you right back up here in the broadcast booth. Maybe turn of the tables between you and the semi-final ride, and maybe tomorrow night we'll see you get the epic finish and beat him back across the line.
Yep, look forward to it.
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, give it up there for our second place finisher, Garrett Boyd. Boyd coming home here in position number 2. A great run, a great drive there for that number 21 machine as we'll get ready to pull in our third and final podium finisher this evening. It is the 24 ride. Also, our hard charger on the afternoon here. It is the 24 of Timothy Massamer Jr. coming home in position number 3 up 16 positions, started all the way back in the 19th starting spot, able to come home and finish this one off in position number 3 here this afternoon. Let's pull Timmy up and into the broadcast booth. Hey Timmy, it's Aaron up here at the Peacemaker Broadcasting booth again. You get a copy?
I do have a copy.
Timmy, man, another great run, another solid drive. This one, you had to work a little tougher for. Obviously, starting even farther back in the pack, and somehow or another, you're able to avoid a lot of the chaos and carnage and caution flags throughout this race. You stay rather clean out there and keep your nose and your car out of trouble, and all of a sudden, you start to work yourself up and through the traffic, and then all of a sudden, you look up and you're sitting here back in position number 3, trying to battle there with, Daniel Adam late in this race, and Garrett Boyd trying to go to battle there for the race win as he come home. Back-to-back races in that third position, man. Take us back through this race and what's going through your mind right now as you're able to finish this one off as not only our third place finisher, but also our hard charger.
Well, I just want to say that, the heat didn't make it easy. Trying to make a pass for the lead there in the heat, and the guy on my outside just got way sideways, and I kind of bicycled a little bit and caught the berm, and just, kind of didn't meet Jesus, but, I shook his hand for a second. But no, I mean, starting 19th, we started 10 spots back than what we did in the winged race. I felt better, though, in this race than I did in the wing race. I knew I had a good car. I called my chassis tuner, Justin Stoles, old Jay Stizzle, right before the race started, and got some small pointers that he told me to make some changes on, and we made the changes, added some fuel, and just kind of sent it. And I knew I was soft on the right rear, softer than everybody else, so I knew I didn't have to worry about grip on the top early. We just kind of started picking them off, kind of hooked a chain to Davin Carwell's bumper there early, and just followed them through. And then when Davin got into that wreck about halfway through the race, we just kind of started praying and hoping that we'd be able to make our way through it, and damn it, we did. We were able to make passes on the top, the bottom, the middle, cut down, slider. We were just good everywhere. Not good enough to make, get a win. We were still here in the third spot, but, Daniel and Garrett had a hell of a race, kind of reminiscent of the C-Bell Larson finish, in the real life Tulsa Shootout. But this time, Daniel was able to make it stick, unlike Larson. So, Daniel's still better than Larson, apparently. But no, I mean, it was good. Didn't have no nerves going into it. Kind of felt confident. I had my buddy David was in there with me. He made the feature this time, so we were just kind of sitting there talking back and forth and having a good old time, watching everybody pirouette and flip in front of us.
Absolutely. There was a lot of carnage, a lot of chaos out there, but you were able to keep yourself out of it and pull that 24 ride up here for the second time onto the podium is there. Backing up your third place finish from earlier this afternoon with another third place finish here in our Friday night finale. Timmy, who would you like to thank for a great run and a great drive here this afternoon?
First and foremost, like I said last time, I want to thank our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, for allowing me to live another day on His earth. Without Him, nothing would be here, nothing would be reality. And I think He really goes, underappreciated in the world, especially day-to-day life. And I want to thank, Justin Stoles, old Jade Stizzle, for being able to be one phone call away like this was real life, even though it's not. But, he knows a lot more about these pretty much go-kart powered flip cars than I do. Daniel, Garrett, everybody that I raced with when I got in the top 5, it was really clean, really fun. Kind of, even though the track looked locked down, it was the most racy, Chili Bowl I've ever been on. Peace for, broadcasting this league, Cardin for taking his time and really, really watching us be idiots, for way too long tonight. Everybody that helped me on the real life car. Yeah, it was a fun night. We made, I think, $30 tonight, more than I would have made just going to bed. So it was worth my time, most definitely. And it was fun with the big thing. And any viewers out there watching, you need to come. You need to come to this league. Starting tomorrow is the Chili Bowl. It's going to be real racing, real sliders, none of that under horsepower, hoping it sticks. Yeah, it's just going to be sliders and probably doors.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun, a lot of craziness there tomorrow night for our Chili Bowl Nationals here at the Southern Racing Association. And if anyone does want to get in on that action, you can message me or the page for the Southern Racing Association over there on Facebook and in on the action tomorrow night. But Timmy, a great run, a great drive. It's going to be a lot of fun to watch you battle and trying to work yourself maybe up in through the field there in those dirt midgets tomorrow afternoon. And maybe we'll see you right back up here in the broadcast booth and get yourself another solid finish, another extra payday, and maybe checkered flag here tomorrow night.
Well, no, hold on. I didn't say I was good in the midgets. I just said they're fun to drive.
I'm sure you're going to be all right, brother. Okay, I'm sure you'll do good.
All right, buddy. Well, thank you. Peace to all the viewers. It was fun.
Absolutely, brother. Enjoy the rest of your night.
You too, man.
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, give it up there for Timothy May Sammer coming home in position number 3 for the second time here this afternoon. Not only our second place or our third place driver here in this race, but also our first race and also picking up the hard charger here in this final feature event of our Friday night Tulsa Shootout, powered by Southern Racing Association and Lovejoy Speed Specialties. As ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, thank y'all for tuning in. Unfortunately, that will do it for us here this afternoon, but to everyone who tuned in and showed the love with all the likes, the comments, the shares, any of the new followers, subscribers, or anyone that came in and showed the love with the subscriptions or donations here throughout the afternoon. I appreciate each and every single one of you, and I can't wait to see you guys back in here tomorrow afternoon as we'll go back to battle, as you guys heard. Our Tulsa Shootout coming to a close here tonight. The Chili Bowl Nationals tomorrow afternoon. Gonna be a lot of fun, a lot more crazy racing, and it's gonna be all right here live on Peacemaker Gaming. So make sure you hit that follow button, make sure you hit that subscribe button if you're watching over on YouTube, and make sure you turn on those bell notifications. That way you never miss it when we go live here on Peacemaker Gaming. Thank you all for tuning in, and I'll see you guys back in here tomorrow night. Peace out for now, baby. Peace out for now, ladies and gentlemen.
Engines roar, the night ignites. In the dirt we find our might. Rubber burns, the crowd ignites. racing hearts under the lights. We live for the speed and slow, every corner, every spoke, chasing dreams, dirt in the throat. Victory's a heavy cloak. Tires slide, the dirt's our stage, helmets on to guard our rage. Lap by lap we earn our wage, in a blur we turn the